talking about recovery, talking about risks, it's something that is that in many ways is making headlines in a bigger way than most people would imagine. Banks are grappling with the issue of bad loans. You particularly have been leading the front of ensuring that not only do we have recognition, but we also have recovery. How much progress has really been made since the time it became such big news?
Actually, we have done quite a bit of work. The first and foremost thing I think is, there is a total change of attitude amongst borrowers and promoters. They know today, for instance, that we are very serious. We are serious about ensuring that the money is recovered. We are serious about ensuring that if we give money, then the business really has to be able to sustain it. Right. And if there is a problem, that they should come to us at the very first instance, instead of trying to sort of do all kinds of things, which only sort of, they dig a deeper hole. So all of that, I think the way we approach lending, both from our side as well as from the promoter's side, I think there is a material change.
But in terms of messaging, as you were saying, sending out that message to promoters that one, they need to have more skin in the game, and two, that they simply cannot get away with what has been happening all this while. Perhaps the kind of aggression that was shown by banks in one particular case has helped send out that message. It's being talked about as a test case. So would you say that the overall messaging at least has been right?
I think so. And I think we have also highlighted the difficulties that we have had with the ecosystem.
Right.
So the ecosystem consists not only of us, the ecosystem consists of chartered accountants, of valuers, of judicial systems. So there is a whole ecosystem around this entire piece of bank lending. And I think there is more attention now on those pieces to ensure that what we are trying to do, that we are helped in that effort by these pieces as well. And what is required to be improved in those places. I think a lot of work is now going on there, and a lot of attention is focused on that as well.
Right.
And all of this is to the good. I believe that this whole system will, improve going forward because of that.
I can't help but ask you a particular question about the recent interview that Mr. Vijay Mallya has given to the Financial Times, where he in some ways is reaching out to you and saying, once again reiterating, I am willing to settle with the banks. Do you see this as a fresh offer, and are you willing to talk to him again? Has he reached out once again after the offer he had made to the Supreme Court?
Actually, the offer comes to us simultaneously along with the court.
Right.
So it's not as though the talks are not going on, they are. But, there is a particular method. Depending upon the paying power and the valuer, the bank takes a call as to this is the maximum amount that we can get. We also try to do what is called a net present value.
Right.
So we do an NPV, actual NPV, and see whether it's a fair deal. And then we do the OTS.
So you believe that the deal was not a fair one, the one that he had made, the offer that he had made?
It's not that. We did not have a proper understanding of the paying capacity.
Right.
Unless and until we know the assets of the person, how are we to realize what is the paying capacity?
Right.
And that was not being given, and that is what we have been asking for time and again. In fact, from 2013 when we went to DRT, we have been asking for that one thing from them.
Right.
And ultimately the highest court in the land did give it to us. Because without that you can't do the other. You have to have a proper understanding as to what you can get and what is being given.
And that will come from the ability to pay.
Exactly.
But the understanding one has really is that now Mr. Mallya is even contesting the so-called 9,000 crore figure, and that's what he said in the interview, that the figure is almost a creation of the media or that of the banks. What is the real outstanding here? And the fact that many people believe that it's better to settle because it's a case that's got too much undeserved attention, perhaps.
You see, the thing is like this, any amount that is said in the press or in any place will change. Because once you take a loan, the interest meter doesn't stop ticking.
Right.
And as you know, interest gets compounded every quarter. So the principal will be far lower.
Which in this case would be about 5,000 crores, a little lower.
Around.
Okay.
So, that's the reason why the numbers are different at different dates.
Right.
Today, if you ask me the number, it will be a different number.
Right.
Okay. So you shouldn't really look at the numbers that are coming out there. Basically, again, as I said, it will all depend upon ability to pay. And of course, the willingness seems to be there, but we'll have to test that out. Again, I want to see actual cash. I don't want to see ifs and buts. and then we will
Which
see.
was the case at the previous time. But SBI and the other lenders are willing to settle. That's
of course,
and would rather prefer an out-of-court settlement again rather than the way it has been panning out.
Whichever way is suitable. But the fact of the matter is, if there is an issue, we need to settle it. We do realize that that is part of any cycle. So it's not something that is exceptional only for one person or for big industry or for small industry. It is there across the board, and we do it for everybody.